Welcome back to Gamify This, the podcast game show featuring the artist, Samuel, the gamer, Sean, the nerd, Puzzle. Join us as we compete to come up with the best gamified solutions to our daily experiences on Gamify This. Welcome back to Gamify This. I'm Puzzle, today's host, because I won the last episode. This is Sean, the gamer, and Samuel, the nerd. Samuel, the artist. I'm Puzzle, the nerd, as was said in the intro just a few seconds ago. Normally, before we start the day's topic, we're going to talk about a little bit about our lives, get things off our chest. The lobby, the main menu of the game. The lobby, main menu. So here we go.
Character selection.
What character will you be today? How has your week been?
Samuel, I could go either way. How do you want to start?
My bad situation got worse. I wanted things to end well there. I didn't really want them to end at all, but they were unexpectedly ended. And I thought maybe I would still be friends with this person. And they completely cut me off. And so I'm missing a friend now, too. Everything sucks, and I hate life right now. Should I gamify that? It goes in the vein of change.
That was one of the changes that we did. Remember me having to leave in 2 weeks and Samuel having to deal with it and neither of you doing very well? Go watch episode 13, Chain. Did I really remember the number off the top of my head? Hang on.
Yeah, it was episode 13.
Whoa, nice, man.
I have an odd quirk about me where I remember numbers that don't matter.
I remember you telling me about memorizing license plates when you were a kid.
I don't know if you've played any of these games in this genre, but the games where you try to complete a run and get as far as you can in that run until you die and you restart.
One life.
But the difference, though, is
each
of those runs, you unlock things and you level up. So each run you go through is a little bit easier and you go a little bit farther and you restart and you go a little bit further. It isn't like One Life where you die and you have to start the game completely over. You start the game over, but you have better weapons or better skills, or at the very least, you're familiar with the layout. It does feel like what just happened to you was a game-breaking bug that just has no explanation and glitched out.
It feels like, because it's like, okay, I think I kind of understand that is over and I need to play a different game now, but I feel like it's more like a game that was bugged and I'm still stuck in it, even though everything's been shut off. And it was like all shut down and nobody told me, and I'm there waiting for them to shut it all back on, and no one's saying anything to me. That's why I hate it when people lie to me. And people say, well, what you're going to have to learn about life, Samuel, is people do lie. What you have to learn about life is you can't trust anybody. It's like, but you should trust everybody. You should be able to trust people. It's something wrong when people do lie.
I mean, maybe part of it was the threat. I'm not trying to attribute fault to you, but maybe next time try to avoid being frantic, because if they're having thoughts and mulling things over, if you're going to be frantic at them when they're saying they need space, that's going to give them the definitive, like, oh, here's a reason for me to finally decide I'm going to put my foot down, like, blah, blah, blah. There is credence to following after someone when they say they need space, especially when it's someone you know very well. But when it's someone that you're still trying to figure out, it's best to err on the side of believing them and
coming back to it later.
Yeah, but I do understand there was a feeling of frenzy, of frantic, and that might have given her the mental excuse to just finish it. I don't think it was a direct result of what you did. I think it's a direct result of how she reacted to what you did.
I'm going to say what I said when I was trying to convince you it was fine that I was leaving when I was Michael when we were doing the episode 13. It's okay to feel sad. But in this sense, it makes more sense. Because if you force a process, you're just going to break everything. it's not a bad thing to let that happen, and I think you'll be happier with the end result of a natural grief process rather than trying to make sure you're fine.
One of the most confusing things, though, is we tend to have two reactions to grief, and that is completely ignoring it and acting like it doesn't happen, or pushing ourselves way deep into it and trying to get it over with. Like, grief isn't just the depression, grief isn't just the reactionary sadness, it is a process, and it's something with many layers and steps to it, and it's something you need to listen to your body and your mind and
soul.
If
you believe in that, you heathen.
I kind of loop that in with mind personally, but I do believe that we have souls. Anyway, but I feel like we tend to have reactions of completely ignoring the grief and acting like it doesn't exist. I definitely err on that side because I'm a more analytical person who I am aware of my emotions. I'm in tune with my emotions, but I try to just kind of avoid them a lot of the time. And when I have them, I try to just be like, all right, time for emotions. Let's get this task done with. Time to go through a emotion cycle, and then we'll be done with it. I had something similar like this to happen, but with a close friend. And at first I wanted to act like it didn't happen, but then I realized this is a very close friend, and I just need to address that it happened, and not act like it didn't happen. Then I tried to speed run the grieving, and that worked for a while, but then like 2 months later I was like, dang, that did happen, didn't it? And I went through the actual grieving, like, delayed. Well, it seems like today we only really had time to hear from Samuel because we do need to fast track it onto the topic. Sean, did you want to very, very briefly, you said you had something you wanted to mention. Had you gamified something in your life? Something that you wanted to share?
In a way, I've gamified introspection, kind of, because I took a glorified personality quiz. Okay, it's like $200 with an interview and like a personalized thing, going through, seeing what you agree with, disagree with a professional. I realized why I'm so emotional. They're called themes of talent. There are like 34 themes of talent, and everybody has a top 5.
Okay.
My top 5 were,
according to this study.
According to the system.
Mm-hmm.
My top 5 are empathy, relatability, communication, adaptability, and developer. Basically what that means is I can read the room really well if I care. I enjoy being with people and having deep conversations, deep friendships. If it's not vulnerable, it's not worth it, kind of thing. So I have like a couple tiers of friends. Communication, I'm good with words if I have time, and I enjoy like delivering good messages and making it memorable. I'm adaptable. I live in the moment a lot, which is interesting because I have trouble with being in the moment, but that's because the moment is boring, and I am like, I need to live in a different moment, so I go to a different moment and live that one. Developer is like, I enjoy helping people with things, realizing potential in something. I had this interview with the guy, and it was crazy accurate. It was scary. Like, it got to the point where I would say something about how I work, and he'd be like, that does fit in with the themes. And he would be like predicting things about my personality based on the things. And I'd be like, holy cow, that is exactly how I run. That was a really positive development in my life. Really, really fun. Pretty nerdy and heady. That was it for me. Not everything in my life is great. Not everything in my life is horrible. We're doing okay. And there's positives there.
Yeah, it's really good to hear. I know that that's been a background struggle for you that's been stressful and upsetting and kind of causing you anxiety. So it's really good to hear that you got that. I was excited to hear about it, and I forgot to ask you how it went because that happened on Thursday, right? Or Friday, right?
Yeah, because of that, you can be a pilot now, right?
Was it causing anxiety for me?
Existentialism.
Which
I believe is under the umbrella of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you guys for sharing. I'm going to pause the recording real quick so that Samuel can switch to his microphone because it's been his laptop this whole intro segment, and he can't change the input while it's recording. So I'm going to pause it real quick. We're back. Okay. Okay, well, thank you for sharing those things. A little heavier, but it's always good to discuss those things.
Piss!
What, Sean?
Don't piss on the podcast.
I just wanted to say that.
Okay, well,
That happened
Anyway.
in my personal life. Okay.
all right, well, let's reel it back in. I am today's host, and I'm going to be bringing the topic here. And in my new traditional sense, I'll be introducing it with a story. Puzzle. Oh, I just spat in the microphone. Puzzle is frantically sorting through a list, muttering numbers under his breath, while Samuel sketches on napkins, envisioning the perfect layout, and Sean is strategizing routes like he's plotting a dungeon raid. Each has their own unique approach, but the goal is the same. One mission that must be completed before time runs out. They're all here for one thing: the perfect grocery run. Today, we will be gamifying grocery shopping.
Wait, but that's one that I'm gonna be doing. It's on the wheel.
Well, you can remove it from the wheel then, because I have a whole thing planned out here. I didn't realize it was on the wheel.
Yes, you did. Every time you're like, I can't wait to do that one. That one's gonna be so cool. I keep forgetting that one's on the wheel. It's gonna be so cool when you have us gamify grocery shopping. Grocery shopping. It's a wellness thing.
I don't want to change the topic this deep in.
You will not.
Now, before you pick up your pens and papers and your Word documents typing out, today we're going to do this together. We're not going to take long segments of writing and then long segments of presenting. We are going to do this together, and I'm going to be writing down points on the side. You guys don't have to worry about that. Mostly you two are going to be having a discussion about this, and I'm going to be leading that discussion following my document up here.
Sean looks like Gamify This.
Yes, Samuel, we have talked
I
about
always
this every single episode. It's how it looks in the call. It's how he looks in the call. It's not how he's going to look in the recording.
Well, why is his call so crappy?
Samuel, I'm going to say it in a way that relates to you, okay? Computer, stupid.
No, your computer's better than mine. It's the internet.
No, it's the computer stupid. I understand it now.
Technology being dumb right now.
Okay.
You sounded so disappointed.
Another thing I want to remind you two about is when I host, I like you guys to bring research. I like you guys to bring...
Sorry, crap.
I'm letting you know ahead of time that your solutions must include at least one research factor study. I like bringing stuff up. And as we're talking, you can be Googling in the background. You guys can start Googling now if you find something cool to talk about, whatever. I want to start out with the psychology of decision-making in high-stress environments. I'm having trouble talking because I can hear myself over Samuel. Just bear with me. I want to talk about the psychology of decision-making in high-stakes environments. I personally have an article from Medium with that exact name, The Psychology of Decision-Making in High-Stakes Environments. And it talks about the pressure cooker of high-stakes decision-making. What are high stakes, the weight of the outcome, impact of pressure, etc. And there's definitely a pressure when shopping. There's definitely a pressure in the holiday season when shopping, especially thinking about the family, dietary restrictions, how much time it's going to take to prepare the meal that you're planning for, your wallet, because you're also going to be having to pay for Christmas presents in the following month. Off the top of your head, like I have a document open here where I'm going to be writing down the perfect grocery run. Well, not the grocery run, but the perfect gamified solution for grocery shopping. And I want you guys to be helping me out. So starting out with the psychology.
Is it our turn?
Yeah.
Samuel, what is going through your head when you're grocery shopping? Or when you're shopping for anything, really?
Will I get one of these things, both of these things, or neither of these things? And will I still have money when it's over?
Oh, okay.
I usually end up leaving with a lot of stuff that I hadn't originally planned on getting because I noticed it existed while I was there.
Okay.
So impulsive shopping.
Is that something you like or dislike?
I do it a lot.
A majority of the time, do you regret it, or are you excited about that thing that you found and realize, I found this, I would never have seen this any other time? Like those movies you sometimes bring home. You found Halloween classics that you wouldn't have otherwise watched. You know, stuff like that.
Jerry's Christmas stockings or whatever.
Yeah, I pretty much regret it. but it also is kind of nice.
Archie's Christmas stockings. We're cursed by that.
That demon of a book appeared while we were drumming the other night, and we both screamed.
Hey, you want to know how I came across that?
How?
I was shopping for some Christmas stuff.
Sean, that is an experience we would not have had if it wasn't for Samuel's compulsive buying tendencies.
Okay. Nice.
5 points for Samuel.
So I'm thinking some of the objectives that we might want are only buying what you want to.
Liberty, 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 liberty. That was only pay for what you need.
Yeah, only pay for what you need. I forget about that.
Okay. But sometimes you need stuff or want stuff that isn't on the list, but you shouldn't go too far off the list.
But I don't want to go too far in my life without those things either.
Okay, now remember, we aren't just talking about ourselves and our own psychology. We're trying to gamify this. So
yeah,
think of analogies, think about games, think about how you can spin this.
Okay, Sean.
All right.
So what'd you say?
Let's make the main goal of the game to leave with what you want. So
That's always my goal.
Yeah, and that's the goal for the game. It's a pretty simple goal for grocery shopping because that is the thing we want to do when we go shopping.
So I wanted to bring up something now that Samuel has brought up his sort of compulsive buying. This Medium article talks about a phenomena called the go fever, which happens when you are under a high stress environment or in a high stress situation, like going to the store and trying to get done fast, and you're in this determination to move forward, that relentless going forward of this tank that you've turned into. It can lead to more rushed and impulsive decisions.
I'll tell you about one I had today. I go to Michael's to buy my craft supplies, and I save all my receipts because that is good for taxes. To take my art business seriously, it saves me money in the long run. But I also have reward points with them. So I'm just trying to hurry through there because I'm within the hour of this art event I need to be at. And she asks me as I'm checking out, do you want to apply for a Michael's card? And I said, no, I'm already on the rewards program, so I'm good. And she said, no, it's the Michael's card. And I'm like, oh, sure. And it ended up taking longer going through the process. So I'm like, okay, now I'm going to have to wait for that to come through the mail and everything. I went out of there thinking, did I do that for me? Or was I just trying to speed things up and I tied myself into something else?
Yeah.
But now I'm going to have to use that every time I shop there.
Now here's some examples, some real world examples that led to people dying. The Challenger space shuttle.
Yes.
NASA proceeded with the launch despite concerns about the O-rings and the cold weather, and it exploded and 7 people died. Boeing 737 or the 730. It's either 737 or 747 where they updated the autopilot and they did not tell the pilots about it. And it was similar enough that the pilots didn't notice it until it became engaged. And it just went into a nosedive that they couldn't turn off because they weren't trained how to. And that led to many casualties across many crashes because they had to meet a schedule, they had to meet a quota, they had to get these planes out and get these planes flying without telling the pilots how to use it.
Holy cow.
So, you know, these are things that can happen as a result. And it's not to make you scared of your own decision making, but it's a real problem. It can lead to you draining your bank account or missing time in an art event that you're wanting to go to. So this is something that we want to prevent. How do we prevent the go fever from occurring? Samuel's the one with the problem. Sean, do you want to come up with a solution?
I think recognition is the important thing, is because I didn't even know about this, but I can identify it now. I've experienced it. And I think the first thing is to always be not looking for it, but you could recognize it if you see it. Kind of just being ready to catch it and recognize it and take some time to disarm it. If you think of it like ticking time bombs coming at you from different directions, it's like you see it in your periphery vision and you take a moment to intentionally catch it, turn it off, throw it away before you keep going so that you don't rush yourself.
Did you say periphery vision?
Samuel, you're falling asleep.
So that's something that should be going on the whole game, is always
having your
looking out
defenses
for
up.
these. yeah, always looking out for these minds.
Well, that's why I have the Go. That's why I have the Go, is because I am like really stopped up and slowed down by my over analytical analysis paralysis that comes with OCD. So to compensate, I tend to rush through things and say, don't think about it, just do this. Don't think about it, just do this.
Maybe instead of don't think about that, do this, and the do this being an arbitrary nebula in your mind, having a written list that isn't just the grocery list, also writing down things that you know are your weaknesses, and writing down, reminding yourself you don't need to sign up for a card. You don't need to buy a movie that you see today. Some other time you can go to the shop and have time to stroll around and look around, but maybe write some specific things that you know are your pitfalls.
I'd see a solution to that. If it presented with something that looks like a good option, prioritize writing that thing down rather than prioritize putting it in your cart. If I take 2 seconds to write it down, what would take 1 second to put in my cart, I save $20 and maybe a lot of minutes of sitting at home thinking, why did I buy this? Why did I buy this? You know?
Samuel. Okay, so you have a brain cart, right? There's a shopping cart in your head.
Here we go. Game time.
Where you put ideas, opportunities in the right cart. So if you see a movie, you don't put it in your cart and lose money. You put it in your cart and you come back to it. Everything you think about, you can put it in a cart if you want. Just put it in the right one.
Compartmentalize it.
Compartmentalize. This is all about compartmentalizing.
Oh yeah, compartmentalize. That should be the name of the game.
No, I liked mental cart, or you said brain cart. All right, now what?
Okay. This next round, I kind of have the cheat sheet. I kind of have the answer key for my personal solution to this problem. But I want you guys to discuss it. One thing that people worry about going into shopping, and one thing that they worry about the whole time they're putting stuff in the cart and the whole time they're checking out, is, did I get the best deal? Am I spending my money wisely? Is this smart?
No, and no.
And I want to know if you guys have any solutions to this, because I personally have a something that me and my girlfriend Jessie do that has helped us a lot mentally and has helped us money wise. But I'd like to hear you guys input.
What was the first one?
Am I getting the best deal on the items that are in my cart?
Best deal,
like either best quality or best money spent. And then what was the other thing I said?
Do I have the budget for it?
And do I have the budget for it? Yeah.
And then the third one was, is this a good idea?
You said that to yourself.
No, you said
you
three.
had 3 things.
I meant 2 things. I meant two things.
Okay.
Am I getting the best deal?
Do I have the money for it?
And do I have the money for it? Yeah.
Well,
Like,
deal, money, also priority. Whether this is actually a priority to pick up and buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that should be number 3.
Samuel, do you have these thoughts?
I have all kinds of thoughts. It's very busy and loud up there.
Do you have any ideas on how to combat specifically the value craze, like the anxiety about spending your money well?
On my way here, I was at Walmart, and I just told myself, look, what would be worse, spending too much money on a lot of stuff, or spending a chunk of money, coming home and finding out you don't have all of the stuff, and then having to go back and spend another chunk of money? That kind of put me on the fence there, because there's kind of 2 sides to the problem, right? One side of the problem is spending just enough money and then finding out, oh, there's a list of other stuff that I do need, and I spent money on some stuff I don't need. And then there's the other one of spending just this much money. So I think it's a good idea to just give up on shopping and not do it. No, I think it's a good idea to have very specific things you're getting that day. Make notes of those other things that come up while you're shopping so that you have it in the brain cart or the compartmentalization.
Wait, sorry, can you repeat that last sentence? I didn't catch it.
Compartmentalization. It's a good idea to get the things you specifically planned on and create a list while you're in the store of the other things that would be good ideas that you can mull over in your head when you get home.
Okay, so you spent a lot of time talking about the problem.
Oh, Samuel.
Sean has a thought, but let's go into solution very soon.
That was partly a solution.
Let's try and nail it down though. But
Okay.
Sean, I want to hear what you have to say.
Every time you go to the store, it's a level or a round. And each time you take a list in and you take a list out. And the list you take out helps you make the next list that you take in. Because if you want, you can actually write something down on the intake list.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to get this. And then go in. And then it's just but that was like level structure and like what happens right before and right after. So that's when you get into your lobby being your house, and you can look at what you got, mull things over, and start making another list.
Go through your sticker pads and your achievement list and look at your trophies.
Yeah.
That's what the lobby is for, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like inhaling and exhaling, or it's like income and expenses. You need income in order to expense, right? In order to spend, you need money. And in order to make a list, you should first go into the store, buy the stuff you planned on buying, make a list, leave with the list. I think another goal should be getting things off that list. I think another goal, I think you should get as many things on the list as you think of while you're in the store, and then go home and get off of it as many things as you can, saying, I don't actually need that. I don't actually need that. And then you'll have like 3 things. Wow, I actually need these things. And then go back to the store. And
it's like an offload thing. You bring your ideas home, you cross out the ones you don't need, and put the ones you do need on your actual cart.
That's how it works with sales too. When you're selling something to somebody, you need to qualify them. You have to actually get them to talk a lot so that there are no questions asked what they want, and they'll have all these ideas of what they want, and you've got to narrow it down to one specific thing. And it can't just be the most expensive thing. We're trying to push this one out the door. This is the one you need. It's okay. Everything you said, we've got this and this, but I think you might want this one. Based on everything you said and everything we have in the store.
I know what you mean.
Specifically with like hot tubs.
You're eliminating excess options.
Yes. So when you're in the store, this is like discovery. When you're asking the customer questions and they're saying stuff, and you've got a long list of things, like a whole bunch of words, so that there are no questions unanswered. There are no questions left over. You know the customer really well. You know your own needs. You know what you need from the store really well. And then you can narrow it down to what you specifically need.
Samuel, do you think this could contribute to helping the anxiety about money?
Yes. Yes. It should solve both problems. 1, you're not spending as much money. And 2, you're not worrying as much about what you should have spent money on.
But then we also have the problem of, like, if you're looking for a chicken breast and you're going through the freezer and it's like, well, I want 6. You don't want to buy 6 packages of one chicken breast. You want to find one package of 6. And I think that's the kind of anxiety Michael's talking about.
The best deals for sure. I had a difficulty today buying eggs because I was like, oh shoot, I don't even know which game I'm playing. Because I'm trying to fill my cart, right? I'm like, my cart should be full. I feel like that's the responsible adult thing to do, is to come home with all of the groceries, not just like a few things, come home, wait several weeks, let this stuff rot, and then buy like 3 other things. Anyway, I was like, I need eggs. And I was thinking, okay, these eggs are on sale. They're cheap. Several of them are cracked, so you can switch them out for the ones that aren't cracked and whatever. These are on sale. These are cheap, but they're not the cage-free chicken eggs. And I'm like, well, yeah, I could get the cage-free version, and I could get the most healthy version of each thing in the store, and then I'd be spending like 3 times or 4 times as much money as I originally planned to.
Yeah.
So the question I was trying to ask myself is, what game am I trying to win right now? And unfortunately,
Oh.
today, the game I had to win was get as much as you can while also spending as little as you can. And I was doing it through Walmart instead of Aldi because I had to pick up food for Captain.
Okay.
So it wasn't as little as I could spend, but it was as little as I could spend at Walmart.
Recording. Thank you.
Sean has been offered or gifted something.
I have. My dad came in the room and slipped in my flaming nacho cheese Dorito chips. Anyway.
You didn't replace your Doritos with lettuce.
I thought you weren't going to eat chips in there anymore. Oh, I didn't make your poster yet.
I totally forgot. But that doesn't matter right now.
Oh, wait, you made that a boundary for yourself? No chips in the bedroom?
He's trying to make it a boundary. Just like I'm trying to make it a boundary that I will only ever buy cage-free chicken eggs. But I didn't today. I bought 2 cartons of factory chicken eggs.
So I have...
For my own good and not for the good of the world.
I have a couple ideas.
Okay. I wanted to remind you guys, I really like research, and the points really like research. But do bring up your idea, because it was an idea from your own head, and that does have value.
Okay. In the lobby, before you go on to the next game, you want to do a couple things. You want to, 1, set a budget for this run so that you know if you were within that budget. I knew I was going to spend this much. And I'm not anxious because I decided that. That was a decision I made. It wasn't impulsive, and I'm not going to ruin my finances forever because I just overspent. It also helps limit buying things that you don't need. You only have enough money for the things you do need. You won't buy other things. The second idea I had is to decide which game you're playing. Like Samuel said, it's like selecting your difficulty. You're selecting, do I want to only get what I need, or do I want to get a bunch of stuff? Do I want to buy in bulk? And that is up to each individual's discretion and judgment. But it is imperative that you decide which of these you're playing in the lobby before you start the round, so that you have a purpose for the round and you don't get lost. And getting lost starts anxiety going.
Yeah, there's like 2 battles I fight. One is getting out of the house to go shopping. The other one is trying to shop without a list and getting stuck in the store. Puzzle knows this really well, but I was like, he can almost hear my thoughts as I'm getting ready to go shopping as I'm lagging. And it's just because I'm thinking about what I'll look for while I'm there, not because I'm making a list. I have research.
So what's the solution? Okay, I want to hear your research. I'll tell you what I've written down so far, which is not very much. I've written down the problem is buying too much in case you miss something. I've narrowed that down as the problem we want to solve right now. And the solution so far has been an intake/outtake list. That's all I've written so far. There's been a lot of discussion since then. I want to hear your research, and I want us to kind of define the solution.
Yeah. So when you are sad and depressed, you don't tend to say, you know what I'm going to do to make myself feel better? I'm going to eat carrots and broccoli and do a bunch of exercise and get up early in the morning. No, you feel good when you have eaten carrots and broccoli and gotten up in the morning and done exercise. Same way with chicken eggs. So cage-free chicken eggs are often $3 to $5 more expensive than the factory chicken eggs. We are in a world where that is the case, and the economy can afford to have a lot more chickens in the factories. The economy will continue, however, to be able to afford that as long as we continue to buy the factory chicken eggs. And the cage-free chicken eggs will become constantly high prices as the inflation continues to happen and as we continue to fight pollution and other environmental crises, as we continue to make bad decisions on our environment and how we treat the world we're in. We're going to be spending 4.6 trillion more per year, and 6.2% of the global economic output. Loosely read, dyslexically researched information. Anyway, all that to say, we will not be thinking about the solution in the time that we are feeling bad. In the time of financial difficulty, we are not going to do the things that are best for the world that we're in. However, I think we should try. I think I could buy less things that are more valuable rather than buying lots of things for more valuable costs. I really think I should have just gone from 2 cartons of eggs to 1 carton of cage-free chicken eggs.
Because you feel like in the long run, you're going to end up throwing some out.
Every time I eat these eggs, I'm just going to continue to punish myself for the chickens that are suffering and living their worst lives.
You don't have...
And the future of our environment that I've given up on, apparently, and just said, you know what? I'm unhealthy and I'm depressed, so I'm going to keep eating donuts.
Michael, what was the original problem?
The problem is buying too much in case you miss something.
So I said buy less with more value.
All right, so the way you started this conversation, Michael, is anxiety about having the best value and spending too much.
Yeah.
One of the ideas I had for that is set a budget you won't go over for this shopping run. Like, you know, you were willing to spend that. That reduces one part of the anxiety. And I have an article on how to set a good budget. One of those things being like, look at your expenses for the previous few months. Look at how much your meals are going to cost. Look at how healthy you want to be, how environmentally conscious you want to be. And all of these things will help you set your budget before you go shopping. Can you say again what the problem was?
Okay, so I started out by saying, how do you prevent worrying that you bought bad quality or bad priced product and that you have enough money? And we turned that into a specific problem of buying too much in case you miss something, which is kind of connected to the compulsion buying from the first round.
Oops, getting a little repetitive here.
And Samuel's solution was buying small amounts of good quality product, which in the long run does end up being more expensive because you still have to eat the same amount of food.
But in the long run, might save the environment, might save the economy.
Which isn't a personal responsibility. It's kind of a group effort.
It is a group effort, but I am part of the effort.
Not everyone can afford that, though. I'm trying to make a solution that can help everyone of varying backgrounds of budget. And
every good little deed in a sinful, sin-ridden, hell-bent world. Every good little deed.
He's the evangelical catastrophic.
Forget evangelical. In a world full of horrible people, one good little deed goes a long way.
I can make a difference to this starfish kind of thing.
Every little deed, every little person.
That is true. That is very true. And I do agree with that. And I agree with the sentiment. And I agree with the research and the background to that. But in the research that you quoted, you said out loud, not everyone can afford that. And you also said, as the economy continues to get worse, because that's just how it works. Inflation is a never-ending thing. Everything is true. Always getting more expensive. Sometimes faster, sometimes slower. Things will never get less expensive
unless something bad happens.
Unless something horrible happens.
Yeah.
But the higher quality stuff, the farm-grown stuff, will always be more expensive.
Until the factories are shut down,
which isn't going to happen.
Look at it this way.
We don't have time to. We need to make an actual solution. It is important to think about the philosophies and the economic decisions and the ethical decisions. But in the long run, you can't be standing in the aisle staring at that, thinking about the lives of the chickens, which sounds kind of heartless, but you know there's a right option and an affordable option. And sometimes you are given the opportunity to afford the ethical option over the affordable option. Sometimes you have 7 children and you're working 5 jobs and you're not making enough money to buy the ethical option, and you have to feel guilty after working your whole butt off to get food for your children.
A lot of those people don't buy eggs.
Michael, what was the original problem?
The problem is budgeting. Okay. The previous one was psychology. This one is budgeting. And the problem was, how do I know I have the right amount, the right quality, the right prices? How do I know I'm getting the best deal? And how do I know that I can afford this? And Samuel's saying you can't afford it. You need to get the best quality and have the ethical decisions, which isn't a great solution. Sean started out with a decent solution with the intake outtake list.
I have another solution. You need constant availability to your hub to figure out what's going on there. Figure out what you need. Figure out what the people are going to be doing. Or if they want to focus on quality or quantity or affordability, or if they're easygoing or if they don't care. This only works if you live with somebody else. But it's very helpful to have two people in tune with the list and the needs, so that if you get lost, you have a hotline that you can call up your friend or your wife or your brother, and you can be like,
Or your dog.
And you can be like, I don't know what to do here in this situation, and you tell them the situation and they give you feedback.
Yeah, I always shop with my partner, and we make sure that even when we buy something we're not planning on, like I might look at something, I'm like, I really want that, and I don't think I'm ever going to get that except for right now. And we're both like, okay, let's look at it. Sometimes we don't, sometimes we do.
Josephine's curry powder and cumin paste.
I just started thinking about it. Like, one of my coworkers is a minimalist, right? Doesn't have like anything in his house. And I'm like, wait, where do you keep all the clothes and stuff? And he's like, no, they're all in my dresser. And so I'm at work and I just ask him, what do you have in your fridge? Mm-hmm. He's like, what do I have in my fridge? And then he started going through. He's like, I'm like, you have shredded cheddar, right? He's like, no, I have mozzarella. I said, oh, I don't have mozzarella in my fridge. He goes, that's your problem.
That's just a different flavor, man.
Well, I thought it'd be psychologically better this time. I got mozzarella instead of shredded cheddar, because I always buy shredded cheddar. I always buy bacon, so instead I bought sausage links. I always buy cereal, so I bought a different kind of cereal.
So is this trying different things to figure out what's best for you?
I think if I change the thing, I think a little bit more about what it is and whether I need it.
Okay. I will say switching from bacon to sausage is way more protein per dollar.
I was hoping in doing this, I was getting away from the pig.
Maybe it's not pork sausage. Maybe it's beef sausage.
All sausage is beef. That's what sausage means.
Well, breakfast sausage tends...
Michael, add that down. Samuel's solution is variety helps you process what you're buying.
Variety helps variety. Buy variety.
Shh.
Variety.
Okay, but let's nail down this solution, because it's only round 2 and we're already overtime for the whole episode. So I feel like this has been a bigger issue, which is good. Like, this is something that needs to be talked about. Here's one of the problems with budgeting. You are putting items in the cart. You're roughly looking at the numbers. You go to the checkout and you realize, I didn't think about tax. I didn't think about this item is 50 cents more than it was last time. This item is 30 cents more than the last time. I bought one extra box, which is an extra $2, which adds up. You don't do all that math while you're putting stuff in the cart. How do you actually adhere to the budget?
This is literally how it works for me. I look at my options. I say, if the cheapest way is unethical, then this is not something that I need right now. If I can't afford the ethical version, I need to buy something else. And that helps. That takes a whole thing out of my cart.
But it takes a whole thing out of you eating.
Yeah, but then I got to end up thinking about something else to eat, and that drives into the creative part of my brain. Some people end up becoming lactose intolerant, and it's like that whole diet thing we're talking about in the change one, right? You had to drastically change your diet. Your doctor said you're going to need to make some major changes to your diet. Remember that one in episode 13, Change? And that's when you start to notice things. They start to stand out to you. And you're like, wow, I can save money and fill myself the same way and still feel good in my heart about what I'm doing.
Okay, but that's still overthinking.
No, this is to avoid overthinking.
No,
this is
you're spending more time in the store. And this is about making the most optimal. Is this something you decide before you go to the store? Okay, I'm not getting eggs this time because it's too expensive and not ethical.
Yes, most days I do.
What? You do what?
If I'm making the list and I say, oh man, I cannot afford, right? I mean, it should. I cannot afford eggs. I won't buy eggs. I'll buy something else. Potatoes are cheaper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So potatoes, I've not had them in a while.
Okay, so far what I have is that
Hey, Sean, can you get a little closer to your microphone?
being in the hub and then being in the store.
Okay, being in the hub and being in the store.
Yes, being in the hub, being in the store. One thing that always happens is that the intake list, outtake list thing. That's to help you not overspend. The other thing is coming in with a target budget so that you know if by the time.
One thing I liked about round one is we ended with a solid analogy / mind picture with the always put something in a cart, either the physical cart or the mental cart.
Mm-hmm.
That's what helped with the compulsion buying and the psychology. What's something that can physically, mentally, analogically help with money struggles or mental money struggles, stuff like that?
You're trying to hit a target.
He's trying to hit a target, but I don't agree with it because
What?
he's saying
I'm not trying to hit any target. I'm just saying I can't write down
this is
a solution.
This is what I did. I went from bacon to sausage. Okay, forget the eggs.
Samuel,
for a
he's
person
asking
like me,
for an
Samuel, that's
analogy.
still psychology. I'm talking about budget, okay? We're assuming that you know what you're going to the store to buy. How do you know?
let's say it was for a budget reason. I looked at the bacon; it was too expensive, so I bought sausage instead, which is more healthy.
Okay, but how do you know that was out of the budget? Like, you skipped a step here.
Price tags. What are you trying to get out of me here?
It does work for some
He's
people.
being too
Michael.
difficult.
No, okay, so how do you make the budget? Like, where does this come from? Where
does the budget come from?
Okay, I
yeah.
usually have a top number I can't
Okay,
cross.
I have an article
Okay,
about this.
That's good.
I have a top number I can't cross. If I was shopping in the last 2 days, I made $200 a day. Don't spend more than $200 in the grocery store.
Okay, nice.
I try to keep it under 100 if I can, but if it goes over 200, I start pulling stuff out of my cart.
Okay, I got some tips on how to make a budget. That kind of budget that Samuel's talking about, if you want to hear him from this article. Take your average monthly spend on groceries and split it between your future trips.
Your future kids?
You started so confidently.
The tip is to spend is to
The tip is to spend is a business.
the tip is to look at your average monthly spent on groceries, and you're going to set a target for your month, and you're going to split that between all the shopping trips. So that's one way you can.
And if you realize that the grocery shopping has been leading you to debt, make that goal a little smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here,
Thank you.
Here is something that I've noticed, and it's obvious to most people, but Target, Walmart, Aldi.
Oh.
I used to shop at Target all the time because I didn't worry as much financially, but I was spending all of my money on groceries by the time that I started needing money, like for other things. That wouldn't have worked. I had to move over to Walmart. Now I realized Aldi, I'm spending like half the amount that I spent at Walmart. So when I'm on a much lower budget, I just shop at Aldi and like $50 tops. Then I have to shop at Aldi. But if 150, 200 tops, I can shop at Walmart. If I can go above 200, I can shop at Target. I know those are extreme numbers. That's not like shopping every week. That's like shopping on my pay week. Right now I'm in a place where I'm like, shop at Walmart on your pay week. Don't shop at Target on your pay week.
That was good. Good job.
I'm trying so hard to work with what you've given me.
That was a good big picture thing. We kept getting lost in the weeds of simple, like specific decisions and stuff.
I
But that
think
was a
I
good
got you
overarching.
stuck in the egg carton.
You got me stuck in the egg carton, man. I couldn't hear. I was screaming for help. Okay, so right here in the solution, I have variety helps the process, keeping an intake outtake list, and choosing the store based on your current budget.
Yeah.
If we don't have anything else for this round, I just want to share what I'm currently doing.
I'm still trying to figure out how to make this whole thing a game. That's what you said you wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out how to do this.
Sometimes a solution is good enough It doesn't have to be a fully
No,
fledged
no.
gamification.
Yeah, nope. We got concept now.
Everyone shut up. Only speak when I ask you something. The core of this game is the round system and the hub system. Every round is a shopping session. And all the time in between the shopping session, you're in the hub. The thing that helps you with overspending, buying things you don't need, is the intake list, outtake list system. That's part of the level select. You address that before you go. Not overspending is helped by taking a partner on your mission. This is multiplayer now. So what you need to do, I can't do that. I just... It's multiplayer now. You either you take a partner on your mission with you, or you have a man in the chair that knows numbers and knows priorities and knows what to do and knows what you have and what you don't have. Michael, I want to know one other solution, and I will put it into game format.
Variety helps the process. Bring a friend. Intake, outtake list. Choose store based on budget.
Choosing the store is also based on the level select. Once you've decided your budget, you have a menu to flip through different stores, like a slide menu with arrows and stuff, and you keep sliding until you get to the store, and then you select the store.
Are the ones that aren't this one going to be blanked out?
It's like, out of budget.
Yes.
Out of budget.
You can only click on the ones that are in budget.
Absolutely.
And if you want spare change, you can go for one that's below budget.
The ones that are more likely to get you spending less and having what you need are highlighted.
Yeah. Aldi might not have what you need.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. More solutions that we've written down. I'm trying to put this... everything we've discussed...
You're trying to coagulate it.
Put it into one game. Yeah.
He's just trying to get all the points by being the only one talking.
No, he's just trying to condense it. You said rounds and what are you calling lobby?
HubSpot.
Hub, yeah. Okay, so variety helps the process. Bring a friend. Intake, outtake list. Choose store based on budget. Those were the 4.
Okay.
I don't really agree with the variety helps the process thing, but Samuel really believes in that, so I'm not going to discredit it.
You know what? Let's make that an option in the menu. So...
Yeah, Samuel did say he sometimes decides that before he goes to the store.
Yeah. I make the list and I say, what if I think of other things on the store? I'm like, put them on the list, put them on different lists so you don't accidentally end up shopping for them again.
Samuel is completely asleep.
Samuel's asleep. I'm flipping out and Michael's hysterically laughing. I love this podcast.
Sir, I've been doing a lot of work.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the fact that you parked in the middle of the street and slept in your car for 3 hours.
Wait, what?
We'll talk about this later, okay? I want you to finish talking, Sean.
I'm almost done. I'm losing steam. Before you go to the store, Samuel's game that he brought to the table is variety. Have a variety session to help you think about your shopping experiences, and the other one is to get exactly what you wanted. Deviate.
You completely cut out.
It was a good. Yeah, so
You laughed so loud, your microphone actually cut out.
It just completely cut out. It's
You
still
didn't
gonna
hear
be in the
anything?
recording, but it just completely cut out. It's like, and then there's like a pause, like, oh no, he's screaming out, and it's like catches the very end of it.
You get exactly. I heard get.
The 2 games you can play, 2 approaches, are variety and precision. Don't
Precision.
deviate from your list. Or find alternatives to what's on your list, still within the budget, to help you think about what's best for you, your family, and your blessings and prosperity upon you and your posterity, all that Variety helps you think about it, okay? And then the store is where you have a heads-up display that's telling you information about all of this stuff you've set up. This is to represent you keeping tabs on your goals in your mind, where if you look at an object, it examines the price tag for you and is like, this is a little higher than usual. or if you've said you want to be more diverse this time, you go up to the eggs and your heads-up display scans it and says, try cage-free eggs this time. You can just get one. Or with the bacon, it scans the bacon and says, try sausages. You'll get more bang for your buck that way. And if you look at your cart and you do the Lethal Company scanner and it says, this is $2 above your budget.
How does it know your budget?
How are you counting all those prices? Price tags are not on items these days.
That's not good. Can you take things off of your checkout? Like in self-checkout?
Yeah, I did just today. I pushed X. I thought it was going to make an employee come, but it actually just took it off and I set it aside because the box was really yucky looking.
Okay, so if you really care about your budget, you can take a detour to the self-checkout, put everything in the checkout, and if it doesn't meet your budget, you can take some things back and rethink. So it's a little bit of a time to analyze what you have.
Here's the thing. You don't have to check everything out. They aren't going to audit it. I went right out. They didn't even ask for my receipt.
No.
Let's not encourage stealing here.
Not shoplifting.
You could check out like a third of the things in your cart.
No. Sean, thank you for condensing everything.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I had to go through that in my mind too. Like, should I gamify shoplifting?
Okay.
No.
To condense it down to 2 sentences.
You did that 4 times, but try it one more time.
Your hub is where you set up your criteria and wants. The level, the game, the round, the shopping session is where you're actually doing it, and you have a HUD that's telling you about your criteria and wants to give you informed decisions.
That you set up beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, since we're running so short on time, I'm just going to tell you as quickly as I can the process that...
Wait, I think this one should be a 2-parter because you have more levels you want to do.
Well, I'm going to share my current method, and then we're going to wrap up this half of the episode. The second half will be out very soon. The way that we currently do it, me and my girlfriend, is we like to shop at Aldi because that's where our budget currently is. And Samuel did bring up that amazing game. The system that we actually do is Aldi, Walmart, Target, where we start with the cheapest and we see what we have left. Throughout the week when we eat food, we both have the Walmart app installed on our phones. And we're logged into the same account, so we have a shared cart. And when we run out of items, we put them in our shopping cart. And the nice thing about that shopping cart is it shows the exact price of the items in store, and it gives an actual total of the cart, including the tax. So if I were to go to Walmart and buy all those items, that is the exact amount it would cost to the dollar, to the cent, including tax. So when we have that full list of items that we need with the total, including tax, we go to Aldi and we go item by item, and we see how every single item is slightly cheaper. We go to checkout and we realize what would have been $130 was $98. Or there's going to be like 2 or 3 items like Cliff Bars or Body Armor. That's a Walmart brand drink for what's it called? Not a power drink, a super drink.
Wellness. A buff. No.
I think it's called a sports drink. Anyway, there are going to be items that are not at Aldi, but for chicken breasts, egg, pork, beef, ground beef, stuff like that. We go item by item, we check out, and we see real time how much money we saved. And then we go to Walmart and get what we have left on the list. But that way we get an actual idea of our budget for the actual items that we actually need, including the taxes, including current deals, whatever. And it's helped a lot. It's taken a lot of stress out of it because I know going in, it is going to be either this exact amount or less.
I really like that. That's really good. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, apps are pretty great. So every time you move on to a new favorite store, choose a more expensive one, download that app, add everything to a cart so you see the actual total, including current prices, because you can't always base it off of last week. Eggs are like gas prices. They are going up and down every week. Chicken and beef, they go up and down every week. Sometimes pork dips 50% just a random day. So having an up-to-date list that dynamically updates without you having to do anything about it, because it's in an app that's in someone else's API, someone else's database where they're updating the prices in real time.
That's awesome.
That's the system that we use, and it was Jessie's idea, and she's very brilliant for figuring that out, and it's helped a lot.
You'll have to remind me of that when I start shopping. Is Samuel actually asleep? He's genuinely asleep.
How?
Don't do that.
I did not mean to hit your head.
So Puzzle was talking for a long time.
Thank you guys for watching. We're going to be back in part 2. We're going to finish gamifying grocery shopping.
In the meantime, if you want to see me or Puzzle or Sean, you can check out Sean on 10 Pine Potato OS. You can check out Puzzle on Puzzle MTM. And me on Samuel Claus Tuner on Instagram, and Moser Meadows Records everywhere else.
All right, and as we say at the end of these episodes,
Game
over.
Over. But it's
Game
not over.
over. Oh, game paused. And as we say at the end of part 1, game paused.